Hey, good morning, everybody out there in Wildcat Nation. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties this morning, and we've got a guest, so that's even more embarrassing. So I will do my best to make this happen for you, and hopefully everybody will be able to hear what's going on today. Guest today, Ben Hunt. Oh, wait, let me see here. I think I've got my co-host coming in. Yeah, there's Keaton. We'll have him join the show here. Thanks, Keaton. Thanks for being here today. Appreciate that. Ben, got you on the phone. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. Good morning, everybody.
Awesome. Thanks for being here with us. Like I said, I hope everybody can hear you just fine. I'm working on it. We're going to start today's with our scripture. It's Psalms 91, chapter 91, verse 2. I will say to the Lord, my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. And so that's always a good place to keep in mind, especially when maybe your life, your country, or some things are in a little bit of an uproar, to know that you always have a God in Jesus Christ to run to. Speaking of religious type topics, I didn't watch, but I saw the worship service. I'm just going to call it that Oprah conducted as high priestess for the American people, so they could worship the royalty of Harry and Meghan. And I think we need to recognize the things that happen in our society from that perspective. Every worldview, everyone is religious, and everyone looks for something to worship. And when our country abandons our traditional underpinnings, or you're looking for other religions, or people claim they're not religious or they're just secular, they find something to worship. And in our culture, that tends to be celebrity. And Oprah has become our high priestess for that. And so I think you'll find it interesting if you begin to look at things in the context of worship when things happen like that. So anyway, that's my thought for today on scripture and on Oprah and American worship. Oprah being our high priestess. Ben, wanted to get to you as fast as we can. You're quite the talk of the town now. And I just lost him. Would you believe it? Let me see if I can get, or maybe I embarrassed him too much. Let me see if I can get Ben back real fast. Maybe he'll call back in. We'll try to get him back on the air. But until Ben comes back, there he is. Accept. Get him on. Hang on. Hey, Ben, we got you back again?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me make sure everybody can hear you just fine. I'm hoping that they all can. So Ben, like I was about to say, you've been quite the topic of conversation here in Rogersville.
Well, I didn't intend for that to be the case, but given the circumstances, I'm kind of thrilled about it.
So, just in case people don't know, you started a trash cleanup last Saturday, and you just ground floored it, started it, grassrooted it, and made it happen. And the part you guys worked on is beautiful. So, what was your motivating factor there?
To be quite honest, just like most everybody else, I was driving down Highway 60, and every time I drive by, it's worse and worse. And I just thought, somebody's got to do something about this. So trash isn't going to pick itself up. So I may as well see what I can do on Rogersville residents. And man, right from the beginning, just putting a post out there with the idea, it was like instant. Like people wanted to get involved. They're tired of it too. They're willing to help, and it was so obvious that I said, okay, let's just do it this weekend. And wouldn't you know it, about 100 people showed up. First event out of the gate. We had good participation from MoDOT, and they gave us a bunch of bags and safety vests. City of Rogersville gave us a bunch of safety vests, and it was just needed, and I'm looking forward to doing it again because I know there's going to be even a lot more people, and the place is going to get even cleaner.
Well, that's great, and you do have plans to do it again tomorrow, right?
Well, yeah, given that it's going to rain, that may not happen, but if we get rained out, then we're just going to move it to the following Saturday.
Okay, and in case we do get to do it tomorrow, what are the details?
We have a sponsor of all things. I didn't even look for a sponsor, but Post Game Pizza, they really wanted to get involved, so we're going to meet in front of their store there in Rogersville, at 9 o'clock. We'll have a tent. We'll be handing out bags and vests and pickers. And post game pizza is pretty awesome. They're gonna offer up a medium pizza to anybody who comes and helps.
That's awesome. It's always great to have sponsors and whatever gets it done. Now, you guys got a lot of right around Rogersville done. I think, did you get all the way up to 125?
We didn't get quite that far. We didn't have enough people. Rogersville's not that big, but 100 people doesn't spread out very far.
Yeah.
So we just went where we could. We had people pick up where they felt they could safely. That was the most important thing. And park on side roads, park on the highway. We found that when a bunch of people work in the same spot, it makes a really big impact. And with all those bright vests, it keeps everybody safer.
Yeah, no, that's good thinking. So do you have an area you're wanting to focus on tomorrow or whenever you get the next crew out?
Well, personally, I'd like to see the highway picked up first because it's the most obvious. From 125 all the way to NN is hit and miss awful, except for where we picked up.
Right.
The medium is bad. Not everybody wants to go out in the medium, but some of the young enthusiasts don't seem to mind to do that, again, safely. Side roads are fine, too. People can pick up in the town of Rogersville. It doesn't have to be on the highway. It could be their own front yard. It's just wherever there's trash and you can get it, and just pick it up.
Okay, well, that sounds great. Now, your rain plans, if it doesn't happen tomorrow, what's the backup plan?
The following Saturday, again, in front of Post Game Pizza at 9 a.m. And they don't have to show up at 9. They can come at 10 or 11. I think the way we're setting it up this weekend, people can be more flexible with their timing because we do have a sponsor with a storefront. And if somebody wanted to come in and get some bags, then that would be great.
Well, that's awesome. Anything else you want to make sure people know about the trash pickup, either what happened or that led to it, or just any other thoughts you might have?
Well, yeah, one other thing, and I think this is why it worked so well, is we didn't put pressure on people to show up and donate their entire day. We actually called it the K-ROG 60-minute trash team. Just give us 60 minutes, fill up one bag of trash, and that's all we asked. And people showed up, I think, for that reason, that it was simple. It gets them part of the community, but it certainly pumped a lot of pride around Rogersville. You see that all over Facebook talking about it. But then we had people come back for 3, 4, 5 bags. If they want to keep going, keep going. Yeah. And we just appreciate everybody coming. And if we could get twice as many people this weekend or the following, whichever it may be, Rogersville's going to be cleaned up pretty quick.
It sure is. Ben, we can't thank you enough for everything you've done. I think you feel the love from the community. I certainly hope that you do. And K-ROG 60-minute trash team. That's great. So post-game pizza, if it's not raining, and will you post something about your plans on Facebook?
Yeah, I will. I think I'm going to put together a separate group for it to make it easier for people to find out what's going on.
Great idea.
One last thing, shout out to postgame. Whether or not the event happens, their willingness to participate, I think should just inject more people just to walk in their door and buy some pizza. Yep.
Nope. Great idea. Thanks to Postgame Pizza for making that happen. Ben, if you got time, hang around. Let me know your thoughts on these baseball rules, okay?
Sounds good.
All right. So, folks, the news that hit today, actually, my wife brought this to my attention. She read it to me as I was leaving the door, and I thought about it all the way here, and I said, we got to talk about this. So, Major League Baseball, they've already ruined the sport with the designated hitter. But they're making it worse because, I don't know, in some ways. There's some proposed rules changes. Some of them are probably good. Some of them are real head scratchers, and some of them I just don't know about. But here's some proposed rule changes that are being test-driven, so to speak, in the minor leagues. So all AAA leagues will have slightly larger bases with less slippery surfaces. Now, that's just a safety issue. They're trying to cut down on collisions. And just player safety. So that's good. That's a good move. A requirement that all 4 infielders have their cleats within the outer boundary of the infield dirt when the pitch is delivered. So that's preventing infielders from playing short field or something like that. I don't know. I don't know why we do that, but I guess it's an issue. Now this one, This one, I don't get this one at all. A requirement. This is in high A. The infielders is all double A, so that's going to be in Springfield with the infield dirt, fielders with the infield dirt. But in all high A, which that's before they get to Springfield, a requirement that pitchers must step off the rubber to attempt a pickoff. Now, rarely do you see a pickoff attempt successful anyway. This is going to make it impossible for a pitcher to ever pick off a runner at first. So I don't know. I mean, and it's going to make the runners are going to be able to get bigger leads. You combine that with the next one, which is going to be all in low A, which is before they get to high A, before they get to double A. A limit of 2 pickoff attempts per plate appearance. So once they've thrown over twice, after stepping off the rubber, if you get both of these in the same game, which right now you won't, I don't know why you just don't lead all the way to halfway to second, because they can't do anything to hold you on. I don't know. A 15.
Sounds to me like they're trying to slow the game down and prevent pitchers from actually attempting the picks.
Well, I think that may be part of it with the one rule, but the other issue, what they've been trying to do with baseball all along is speed the game up, because we don't have the patience that we used to.
That's what I meant by speed the game up. I said slow it down, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That's okay. Yeah. No, that's exactly what they're trying to do, Ben. They're trying to speed it up because baseball's a game to be studied, and there's so much strategy that goes into all that. And if you're not familiar with that, if you're not up all that, that's why people think baseball's slow is boring or slow, because they don't understand the strategy that goes into the game. So that's why I'm not happy about all of this stuff, but I think it ruins the strategy a lot of ways. And you're exactly right. They're trying to speed the game up. And along with that, in low A West Coast, a 15-second pitch clock. So it's like a play clock in football. Now here, this is going to be really controversial, but it really depends on what you like about the game. But in low A Southwest, an automatic ball strike system. So you've got a robot, a computer, calling the balls and strikes instead of a human umpire. That's going to be interesting. Now, I get it from a technological standpoint. It'll work. But that human element, boy, that's something to it. And we're just losing all of that. The kicker for me was the designated hitter. I can't stand the designated hitter rule. I love the strategy of having to pinch hit. And the rule where they've got the rule where if you bring a pitcher in, they've got to pitch to at least 3 batters. You can't bring a pitcher in to just pitch to one guy. Man, that was all part of the game. That was all part of strategy. So
yeah, and the game's full of grit, and they're taking a lot of the grit out of it.
I think you're right, Ben. I agree wholeheartedly. Well, folks, that's our show for today. Thanks for joining us. Ben, thanks for calling in. I really appreciate it. Rogersville, K-ROG will be back on the air this weekend, games, and we'll be back Monday with Dollars and Cents, Tuesday morning show. Thanks for tuning in. Love you guys. Stay strong, Rogersville. We'll see you soon.
Have a blessed day, everybody.